to Baking with Breanna, the part of the show where I bake and you watch and probably don't bake along because let's face it, this is YouTube. Today we're going to be making dinner biscuits, even though it's the morning, but no one needs to know because this will probably be up at night. They are vegan. Please feel free to be happy with this recipe or try it and tell me how much you hate it or love it. So the first thing you want to do is get out all your ingredients. So you're going to need whisk, rubber spatula, biscuit cutter, salt, sugar, margarine, baking powder, soy milk, flour, and a bowl. And don't forget your apron. And don't forget, it's always fun to have company when you're baking. Follow the instructions very closely. Preheat your oven to 425. In our bowl you want to add not 1, but 2 cups of flour. 1 tablespoon baking powder, nice and flat so that you don't have too much, because baking powder is something you don't want to get too much of. And really make sure that it's not baking soda. Just so we're all very aware of what just went on, because it's hard to film this by yourself. I couldn't find my 1 teaspoon. I finally found it. Next, your 1 teaspoon of granulated sugar. Half a teaspoon, not tablespoon, of salt. So now that our dry ingredients are together, we come to the fun part of putting in the wet ingredients. 3/4 cups to 1 cup of soy milk. I don't know how it would work if you actually use milk, since this is a vegan recipe. So there I have my 1 cup. So now we're just gonna gradually add that. Stir it with a rubber spatula. Time lapse. What we're going for is so that it becomes, all the dough is together, but it's not too sticky. Mine's still super floury, so I need to keep adding a bit more. It's all together. And now comes the fun part, which I don't know how I'm going to film. Now that we've got that, oh, it's all sticky. You need a slightly floured surface, which of course I put my camera on. We take the dough, and we put it on a slightly floured surface, which is my here. Oh my goodness. I put too much milk in. Mine's a bit sticky. Make sure you don't put too much milk in when you're doing this. You're going to knead it 12 or 15 times until it's all together and good. Oh, it's really sticky. Make sure you do not put too much milk in. It is so sticky and you just have this. Oh my goodness, it's so sticky. This is a problem. This is a problem. This is such a problem. I don't know what to do. I don't know if you noticed, I'm wearing an apron because I'm like, oh, I'm baking. It's a tutorial, and so aprons are completely necessary. So if you are doing this and not wearing an apron, that is a problem. Okay, time lapse. When your dough is at a smooth and even like consistency, you can stop kneading it. So now we're going to pat the dough into a circle, and it's going to be, so you want to make sure it's 1/2 inch thick, which I'm not succeeding at yet. Time lapse. Now that we've reached our desired, if not a little bit too short, small, I was going to use a pumpkin. And here in Canada, next week is Thanksgiving, so I was going to do a turkey, but we only have a really giant turkey, and I couldn't find an actual biscuit cutter, so this is as good as we get. So then you just make them, cut them out. You can re-roll if necessary. And then they look really cute, I'm not gonna lie, because they're pumpkins. It just makes it adorable. Once I have the shapes, I'm just gonna take off the outer layer. It's like making cookies at this point, especially since I'm using a cookie cutter to do them. So they're like cookie biscuits, except they're not sweet. Oh, no, biscuit, don't go away. Alright, so there are my little pumpkin biscuits. So you want to take out a baking sheet, cover it with parchment paper. I put mine upside down so that it doesn't roll away. Then you transfer this little guy over to your baking sheet. 2 tablespoons of margarine. And melt that butter for about 30 seconds. Then you just want to glaze the top of these beautiful pumpkins with that melted margarine. And then we put them into the oven. Goodbye. 15 to 20 minutes. I hope you enjoy the third person point of view. So they're baked. They are little pumpkins, which I think is awesome because, like I said before, it's October. Maybe when you're making yours, don't put quite so much butter on top. The outside's kind of like encased. That was baking with Breanna. Sailor Moon, so much love. Oregon Trail, also so much love. I understand exactly what you were doing with your friends because we did basically the same thing, but different types of RPGs. Can you please do a tutorial on something like reading or doing homework? Because that would just be awesome. Chrissy, you have been so missed. I don't think we should do punishments. I don't really care for them. It was just really great to see you. I'm excited for all these topics we have lined up. It's going to be awesome. My week was mighty nerdy because Merlin aired, woo! And instead of studying, actually I did study today, but instead of studying I was watching Merlin and I was watching Doctor Who and I was like, yeah. I don't know why I'm doing jazz hands, but I did. Yep, here we are.